Welcome back to the Daily Drum on WHUR and Sirius XM Channel 141. This is the Insight segment. I'm Harold Fisher. We continue our Back to School series tonight with part 3 of our conversation. We've heard from teachers, we've heard from principals, counselors, and school health officials, but now it's time to hear from some of the most important voices in this discussion. We're talking about the students. What are their hopes, their dreams, and concerns as they get ready for a brand new school year? Well, tonight, they will share their truths, their expectations, and what they believe it will take for them to succeed. My guests are Rihanna Willis, a 17-year-old senior at Crossland High School, Adam Seibert, a 17-year-old senior also at Crossland High School, Malia Reed, a 16-year-old junior at Laurel High School, Nina Anderson, a 17-year-old senior at Largo High School, and Zion Young, a 17-year-old senior at Richard Wright Public Charter Schools. Thank you all so very much for joining this conversation. And let me just say, congratulations to the seniors. You are almost there. So, jazz hands for the seniors, okay? Yay, 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 yay. Absolutely. Hang in there, Malia. It's going to happen. So no shade to the juniors. Let me first start with some really kind of simple questions. And I'll start with you, Malia. What excites you most about going back to school this year?
I'm excited to be almost done. It's my junior year. I have one more year until senior year. So I'm just really excited to get it over with, if I'm being honest.
What about you, Nina?
I am very excited as this is my last year of high school. I've been working very hard the past 4 years, so I'm very excited to walk across the stage and continue my next step.
Invite me to the cookout. Rihanna, what about you?
I am most excited to finish out strong and do all of the extracurricular activities my school offers. I'm in a lot of them, so.
Busy. Zion?
I am excited. I'm a little bit sad because this school is like my family. And I'm really excited about the curricular activities that I'm also in as well. And I get to take up more curricular activities than what I already took. So I'm really excited about that. And I get to walk across the stage and finally say goodbye to this chapter and hello, my new chapter.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. Adam, what about you?
I'm pretty excited. Like these past 4 years, I really they were like gone. So this be my last year. I want to make sure like I spend a lot of time like invested into my career this school year. I plan on doing some music stuff. I might try and drop like a single or an EP, something like that. So this school year, I really want to take it to like a level where I've never been before with my music. So that's my goal.
Well, good. Yeah, good for you. Adam, do you have any concerns that you take with you as you prepare to begin this new school year?
Any concerns?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the concerns come for what happens after. I know with a lot of what's going on in the world, FAFSA is something I'm kind of worried about, like things like that, things that will help me for like later in the school year, like scholarships, things like that, and opportunities. So that's what I'm more worried about. But in terms of like what's going to happen now, I feel like this school year is going to go by smoothly. Everyone's going to do well. So I don't have any concerns now.
What about you, Rihanna?
I most definitely agree with Adam. FAFSA and anything financial aid related are concerns of mine, but I'm also worried about leaving a legacy for the underclassmen. I want them to know that, they have other people to look up to, even after I graduate.
That's interesting. I can be quite honest. I've never heard of that before, but as I say, the young people these days are certainly built differently. When you say leave a legacy, what does that legacy look like?
Well, it could be, starting a new club or maybe making a statement or some kind of motto so that people can stick together or, something along those lines. I'm very for, people standing up to help one another.
Zion, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, I agree with what Adam said. Mainly, my concern for right now is like FAFSA and how I'm gonna get scholarship money. But that's for like a later date. But right now, I have no concerns. And like what Rihanna said, I want to leave a legacy on. I want to continue being a mentor to my younger classmen. Because right now, I kind of am in a way because over the summer here at my school, we did like a class course with like underclassmen, and we just helped them get ready for what high school is going to be like, how their classes look, how to open up their lockers and stuff. And just me being here, it gave me a insight of what I want my career to be as well. So I'm really excited about that.
What are your thoughts about that, Malia?
Um, I mean, junior year for me, I'm just worried because everybody says it's their hardest year, and I know colleges are going to be looking because colleges usually look at your junior year. So I'm worried. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm scared.
Nina, what about you?
I would say I'm worried about the present and the future. With being a senior, I want to be a role model for all the underclassmen and have a person that they can look up to. And when it comes to the future, I am worried about after graduation and how the real world would treat us. Most people do doubt young people, but I want to show them what I'm truly capable of and why I deserve to be where I am.
Let me drill down a little bit because as I'm listening to the five of you, and let me just say, you know, I graduated from the best school in the state of Maryland, Eleanor Roosevelt in Greenbelt. There is no school better. Fight me. But um, I will say that I remember when I graduated way back in the old days, the pre-internet Flintstone tablet days, that I cannot honestly remember thinking about what I was leaving behind. I was just trying to get the heck out of Dodge and move on to college. So, Zion, since you brought it up, where does that thinking about others come from?
You said where does thinking about others come from?
For you.
For me, I've always thought about others.
Hmm.
So it came naturally towards me. So when I see either a friend or any like for real a stranger just in help, I will try to give them words of encouragement, try to give them a way so they can maneuver throughout life. So that always has been a part of me. And yeah, it does take up a lot of time, but it's that time being well spent.
Hmm.
Even though like now, yeah, I am a senior, I got a lot of stuff to focus on. But at the same time, I want to help out some other students too. So they can also make it towards their senior year. So they can also know what to expect, what's going to be in line, how you need to put A, B, and C into place. So you don't have to worry about anything else later on in the day.
Anybody else have any other thoughts about the selflessness of thinking about others, either that you are in school with now or those you'll leave behind? Jump right in.
Yes, I agree with Zion. I think for me, thinking about others came from like I developed it in school and at home. I was kind of raised that way, being in a religious household. And
Yeah.
then in school, I think the family aspect of school made it like strengthened it kind of.
Yeah.
Also, I want, the younger students to be able to know what's wrong and what's right. I know they already have that thinking, but I feel like if they have a role model or someone to look up to or someone to ask questions to, it's even more solidified.
Interesting. I do want to move on to some very serious issues. As you all know, no matter where your school is, uptown, downtown, DC, Prince George's, Virginia, it doesn't matter, California, Texas, there are all kinds of safety concerns. So, Adam, when it comes to safety, what concerns, if any, do you have?
My concerns aren't really more about kind of what's outside the school because in Prince George's, I feel like, at least what I know, there hasn't been really concerns regarding like danger outside the school. But I feel like it's
Hmm.
more inside the school, and it's a combination of like violence in the students, but also like danger within like how the school systems operate. like how the employees interact with one another, how they interact with the students. Are the conversations safe? Are they not safe? If that really makes sense, more about like if the environment that the schools are in, the people who work there, are they providing a safe environment for the students to also feel welcome? And if they're doing their job and not really necessarily trying to provide a toxic environment for students where they feel like they can't even go to school to be safe or learn.
What
Those
do
are
you
my
think, Aaliyah?
concerns.
When you talk about safety and security, what are your thoughts?
When I think about safety, I think of the precautions that PG County has taken, like making sure the backpacks are clear, the metal detectors. But then with that, I feel like once we progress within the school year, I feel like the security guards at my school, they don't take it really serious. So it kind of makes me, I wouldn't say it makes me scared, but you can definitely see that throughout the school year, they get more lax.
Hmm. Zion?
Well, for starters, we I don't really have those type of problems
Mm-hmm.
because for one, social media at our school it's big, so we'll always turn on our phones, and so we have no distractions, no nothing. And honestly, it's helped a lot. Speaking for me personally, it's helped me a lot to stay a lot more focused, not having to worry about who's texting or who's saying what. And honestly, the connection here within our school my school is really small, but it's
Okay.
so big. It's so big at heart. And when I say that, it's like we're a whole family. Everybody knows everybody. Even like the teachers, they speak so professional and calmly towards each other. Whenever they see me, a student, they always greet me, say hello, how's your day? They even ask how is my mental, for real, for real.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
we have two wellness centers within our school that just got built, and it helps us and helps the students and even teachers nowadays to cope with how they're feeling and what's their mental like, how are they feeling, what's going on in their life. And honestly, that helped me so much throughout my high school career. And right now, there's no concerns whatsoever. Right now, I'm in a completely, throughout my 4 years being here, I was in a completely safe space. No
Wow.
harm, no danger, no nothing, completely safe.
Mhm. Nina, you look like you have something you want to share.
I was just gonna agree with everyone that I don't really have any concerns in my school or in my neighborhood. It is overall a really safe environment, and you feel like you can actually talk to the people at my school. The administrators are always greeting everyone. The principal even comes in and checks on people every once in a while, making sure that you're good mentally, physically, and academically, because he doesn't want anyone to fall short.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's how my school is as well. Our CEO, who was previous our CEO, he will always come in our school. He will always check on everybody. He will make sure that we're good, make sure that we're straight. And he'll even check in like on how we're feeling. And he also wants to incorporate our opinions. Now, I'm not going to speak for majority schools, but from what my have friends have told me, they don't really get to voice their opinion as much. However, at my school, we can put out ideas about clubs. We can put ideas about how we want our uniform to look. Like we can over accessorize, but also keep it to a minimum. Same thing with like how we have, like for example, my hair. I'm allowed to dye it. I can
Hmm.
do a lot
Sharp.
with it.
Sharp. My daughter used to have the same kind of hairstyle. Yes.
Yeah, it's like everywhere I go, he like our CEO, Dr. Marco Clark, he makes the school a safe space. He allows his students to be heard. If something isn't going right, he'll jump like that to try to fix it. He'll talk to us, try to maneuver, try to figure out how we can like change this, how to change that, and that will makes our school, like I said, our school is very small but
Hmm.
really big at heart. And I mean that with 10 toes. 10 toes down our school is really big on that.
Tell Dr. Clark I said hello. He's been on this program many, many times. Rihanna, your your colleagues here on this program have spoken about making sure that you are feeling right, that the mental is on point. Talk to me about your thoughts about mental health for not only yourself, but for the people that you go to school with. This has got to be a really big thing, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. I believe that mental health for students in general is extremely important since it affects their behavior, their schoolwork, pretty much everything that they have to do, you know? Um, I also think my school is very well grounded when it comes to managing our students' mental health. You know, we have counselors and therapists and all of that. And we also have like mental health expositions and stuff. Like, I feel like my school is very, very on top of that. Also, I would like to agree with Nina and Zion. Our principal, administrators, and teachers, they're very communicative with the students. You know, like Crossland isn't my first high school. I used to go to a different one. And something I noticed when I transferred was that I would see the principal every day. I would see Dr. Gilchrist every single day. I would
Hold that
talk to
point.
him.
Hold that point because I've got to take a quick break. Don't forget what you're going to say because I'm going to allow you to finish that point on the other side. I want to remind our listeners that you can hear this and every edition of the Daily Drum Insight segment via podcast on WHUR.com. The original Quiet Storm with Raheem Devon is next on WHUR. That conversation continues on channel 141, Sirius XM, and 96.3 HD2 in just a few seconds. Welcome back to the Daily Drum on Sirius XM, channel 141. I'm Harold Fisher. We continue our back to school conversation at the Students Roundtable. My guests are Rihanna Willis, a 17-year-old senior at Crossland High School, Adam Seibert, a 17-year-old senior also at Crossland High, Malia Reed, a 16-year-old junior at Laurel High School, Nina Anderson, a 17-year-old senior at Largo High, and Zion Young, a 17-year-old senior at Richard Wright Public Charter School. Before the break, Rihanna, you were talking about your relationship with the principals. Please continue your point.
Yes, sir. I was mentioning that before I transferred over to Crossland, I didn't really see much of the administration or staff members unless it was in the classroom or in their offices. As soon as I transferred to Crossland, I noticed that I could see administration and even like my principal, Dr. Gilchrist, every single day. He would talk to us and he would make an effort to make sure that we knew we were safe. If we felt unsafe, we could come to him, or if we needed help with our mental health, we could come to him and he would take us to someone who could help us out. I feel like the family aspect at our school, it's very much helped us in terms of mental health because there's always someone we can talk to. There's always someone we can take our problems to.
Adam, I'm going to have you speak for every young man in the Prince George's County school system since you're the only boy on this conversation. But when you think about mental health and your male peers, what is the thing that concerns you? What do you see that gives you pause?
I see a lot. As a black man, I know how mental health is pursued in our community when it comes to our males. It's like, it's not like important. It's like it's all in your head. I've heard, I've seen it. But amongst my peers, I see a lot more peers that are actually very in tune with their mental health, and it makes me happy to see because I know that there's a big chunk of our community that isn't really aware of it. But the latter that isn't more in tune, I do notice like patterns, like behavioral patterns, like the aggression. You can see when someone is struggling through their actions. So I would say what gives me pause the most is the neglect. And I don't want to say it's not on the students, but I feel like it's the parents as well, and as long as like as well as the staff in the school systems, because I feel like although it's technically no one's obligation, I feel like if you're in a position as a leader and you see someone struggling or being left behind, I would lend them a hand and be able to provide them sources that can help. And I'm not saying that there aren't school systems that do that, but I would say it could help being like a teacher lending a hand to a student who is really in need when you can see
Mhm.
that.
Go ahead, Nina.
I would say that the times that I've seen mental health is when my friends went through some struggles, and I could
Hmm.
tell the signs when they were being like very distant towards me, even though I loved them no matter what. And I could tell they were struggling, but they were trying to distract themselves from their pain. So I had talked to them because I'm one of those friends that are here for anyone. I treat them just like family. I talked to them about it. They told me what had happened, and I backed away. I let them have time to get themselves together. And also, when it comes to mental health in my school, my principal, Mr. Lewis, is very serious about our mental health. We have at least two therapists at my school every week for people that struggle with their mental health. They might not want to say it in front of teachers, but they will gladly say it in their private time with their therapist. And I do really appreciate that because some people struggle more than you know. And it's very confidential, which I think is the biggest thing at my school. And I really appreciate my principal for implementing that strategy into this new school year.
Mm. Let's talk a little bit about bullying. It is a serious, serious issue, and it has evolved so much since I was in high school. Malia, have you seen it? How, what have you seen, and how do you believe it is or is not being addressed?
I feel like bullying is not really taken serious anymore because people see bullying as, oh, you need to just toughen up. Like it's just jokes. But one
Mhm.
joke can really ruin somebody's self esteem. Like one joke is all it takes. And people don't realize that. So I feel like bullying, I've seen bullying in people's comment sections because social media is one of the biggest aspects of bullying. So I always see people in the comments and people's comments making posts about other people, and it's not even just at my school. I feel like it's everywhere. So bullying is a really big issue.
Adam, you were nodding your head. Go ahead.
I agree a lot. Bullying is very prevalent within our age group and it's very normalized, and you can see it from an outside perspective where I know in certain friend groups that's like they're joking. That's how they joke with their friends. When I was in middle school, I used to joke with my friends the same way, but people need to understand that there's levels and degrees to which you can go to someone's boundary level where it's not harming them. And I also was nodding my head because I also don't only see bullying within the students, I see it from the teachers as well. I've seen and heard teachers bullying students or teachers bullying each other. And before we switch to the this topic, the last topic we were talking about concerning the school,
Mhm.
I want to say a huge concern I have regarding this year is probably professionalism within the school systems. I've heard and seen situations, I don't want to list them obviously, but within my school and other schools where the teachers showcased acts not so professional in terms of how they treat students, calling students out of their names, talking to other teachers, bad mouthing the students, and gossiping. And I want to say I've heard and seen within my school teachers bullying each other and the students as well. So I feel like
Mm.
that needs to be addressed as well. That bullying isn't just within the students; it's within the adults as well. Which is why my concern is also professionalism as well.
Mm. Zion, what's the fix for bullying in your opinion? Give me your Richard Wright senior crystal ball.
We do not tolerate it here.
Hmm.
We do not tolerate bullying whatsoever. We whenever we see it, we nip it like this, and it never happens again. I have never, not once, experienced bullying at my school. We do not
Hmm.
tolerate it at all.
Hmm. Rihanna, what do you believe is the fix for that? And I know you do not have a psychologist PhD, but just from your own experience and your own personal thoughts, where do you believe it comes from? Why do you think it happens? What do you think the fix is?
Um, I think bullying happens because of a person's mental health. Like, I genuinely believe that in order for a person to bully another, it takes for them to not really be secure with themselves. And I think
Mm.
the fix with it, I would say like talking about it or peer mediation. I've I haven't done it since my high school career has started, but back in middle school, I was a student peer mediator, and um, I would say that it helped a lot with bullying.
What is a student peer mediator? What does that mean?
Normally, most of the time, I would just like if I saw two students having an altercation, I would have to, talk to them or take them to an administrator and we would all talk together. Or sometimes, like, if two students were having an altercation, an administrator or counselor would ask me to come into a meeting with them so that they could talk. Or, like, if two students felt as though they were having a disagreement, I would be the one to stand there and be like, hey, you can't talk over this person, or I understand that you feel this way, but they're just simply disagreeing. It's
Mm-hmm.
more like not exactly a therapist or anything like that, but it's kind of like a person to make sure that everybody is heard on all parties.
Yes, the world has certainly changed. Our version of peer or student mediation meant breaking up a fight. That's all we had back in the old days. And so, yes, there obviously are great improvements in the way that these kind of conflicts are addressed. Let us talk about drugs, vaping, and the like. Again, just giving you kind of the comparison. Students back in the old days, if they smoked cigarettes. They smoked cigarettes outside, air quotes, off campus. If they did smoke at all, it was again cigarettes, and it was in the bathrooms where they were not supposed to. Now we obviously have vaping. We have uh, issues of all kinds of illicit drugs. Nina, how would you kind of characterize where where students are right now as it relates to drug use and vaping for that matter?
I don't really think that kids our age should really have gotten their hands on vapes or cigarettes to begin with.
Hmm.
Everyone knows what it can do to your lungs. Personally, I have seen people like try to sneak and try to vape at my school, but my our security at our school is so strict that if they catch you one time, you they take it away and they enforce new rules. They are very strict on the no smoking, no vaping. They try to hide, they will find them immediately and they will have their repercussions.
Hmm. Anybody have any thoughts about, for example, the use of marijuana? We know that for legal adults, recreational marijuana is legal, in the state of Maryland, although there are certain, restrictions. Um, Anybody see any of that in school, and how is that addressed? Adam?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Who
No,
was that?
Adam can go first. It's all right.
Okay, go
Oh,
ahead, Adam, and then Rihanna can jump in.
okay. Yeah, the use of marijuana in school is very, very like I don't want to say prevalent, but I've seen it like just in the open. I remember my freshman year, I saw a group of I think seniors. They all graduated, but a group of seniors just in the middle of the hallway smoking a blunt and passing it around. And to
Mm,
me, I thought that was like mind-boggling. And obviously, it's like hearsay. Like I don't have any evidence to back this up, but I've seen it. It happens in the stairwell. You could walk into the bathroom when school starts. It smells like weed. It's just like I don't think it's very guarded over, especially like the use of electronic cigarettes as well, like vapes and things like that. It's not something that I've seen that's really been taken to account or something that's been like really like guarded over.
Rihanna?
I agree. I think drug use and like the use of marijuana is way too common among my peers. Like, I honestly think it's too easily accessible. And
Mm,
I would agree with Adam. Like, you can see it a lot. I wouldn't say I've seen people using, a blunt per se, but I've seen them using, electronic cigarettes, like vapes and stuff in the hallways, in the bathrooms. Like in my school last year, um, I remember they had to like lock bathrooms at certain times, or like sometimes they would lock certain bathrooms for the entire day because people kept going in there to use drugs or use vapes, you know. I think, yeah, it's just way too common.
mm. And what about, some of the significantly more dangerous, even deadly drugs? As you all know, if you've paid any attention to the news over the past couple of years, Loudoun County, Virginia, has had a very, very serious problem. There have been some issues in Montgomery County also, some overdoses. We have not seen these issues so much in Prince George's or even in the District of Columbia. But Zion, are you at all concerned about the prevalence and the availability of some of these potentially deadly drugs?
Yes, I'm highly concerned because half of these kids don't know what's inside of it. They just think that using it is like it's gonna make them cool or gain popularity. When that's not the case, you're inhaling and you're taking in toxics into your body. You don't know what could be inside of it. There could be even more deadlier drugs inside of what you're taking. And just because like either they see it on the internet or their group of friends is like, hey, you should try this, and they wind up trying it so they can be accepted or so they can be cool and gain popularity. No, you have the opportunity and you have the right to say no. I don't want to do this. I don't want to use it. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to smell it.
Mhm.
I personally do not like it because so many young people are using it and they wind up dead using it. And it's like you have so many good and great opportunities in your life, but yet you want to throw it away so you can have a taste of marijuana, or you throw it away so you can have a puff of a vape. Sure, some use it for therapeutic. Personally, I say don't use it at all. If you have to use any type, if you feel you have the need to use any type, seek therapy, seek some help, go to a guidance counselor, go to your parents. It's like it's okay to talk about personal stuff towards your parents. They understand, they've been through it. And it's even more important to go and talk to a guidance counselor at your school. I'm not gonna say talk to anybody, but talk to any adult or parental supervision about these things. Don't go and take matters into your own hands and figure it out. Because if you do, it's not going to be the outcome that you want it to be. It's going to be something 10 times worse. So I say no to all of it.
Yeah.
I most definitely agree with Zion.
And then I'm sorry to cut you off, Rihanna.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And like to answer your question of like the bullying, previous question with the bullying,
Mhm.
I've never experienced it here at my school. I've always heard about it from other different schools and how they would handle it. That's why I'm so glad and I'm very grateful and thankful for my school that I have here, because we don't tolerate it. And even if we see it, we always nip it in the bud. And it's like, even if somebody starts it, it's always something dealing with themselves. It's never with anybody else. It's always themselves. It's something within that specific person that always has to nitpick and target other different people because of how they see themselves. And it's like, sure, your comments, I always tell people that your words have power. Anything that you say is really strong. So that's why I always be like, hey, be careful what you say, because a lot of things can happen with one simple word or one sentence within a comment section. It can turn that person's confidence from an ultimate high to an immediate depression, just like that.
Go
And
ahead,
we
Rihanna. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that I most definitely agree with Zion when she says that drug use is popular or it makes people seem cool. It's I think it's way too commonized because of the fact that it's popular. I think that a lot of children my age, they're focused on making themselves seem a certain way so that they can attract others. The majority of teenagers, their main focus is to try and fit in and look cool. And I think, unfortunately, fitting in isn't, remaining yourself or the way you would want to be. It's doing bad things to try and seem cool or popular.
Let me take a shift here. Malia, what makes a good teacher, and what would you say makes it more difficult to learn?
Great question. I feel like a good teacher starts with somebody who's passionate about their job. I know at my school, you can tell that a teacher is passionate about the job versus when a teacher is just doing it for a check. I feel like it makes it easier to learn when the teacher wants you to be there. They want you to learn. So I feel like I feel like you cannot be a teacher without passion. So I feel like that's a really major part of being a good teacher.
Mhm. And what makes it difficult to learn? What circumstance makes it much more difficult for you to learn during the course of a school year?
I would say when a teacher isn't concerned about what their students want, like they don't take into account the different learning styles and they teach how they want to teach. And when they don't listen to their students, you can't be a good teacher if you don't listen to the concerns of your students. So I feel like that's a really difficult part of learning.
Nina, what makes a good teacher in your eyes?
I would say a good teacher to me, I would agree with Malia, someone who's very passionate about their job, someone who is actually engaging with the students, someone who will actually help you out and not make you more confused after they give you an answer to a question. For me, I can tell a difference between someone who is just there for the day versus someone who actually wants you to gain information and take it for you for the long run. I've had experience with teachers who are just there, just hand you the work, and then you sit down and do it. That but I've also had experiences with teachers where they are actually standing up, they are talking to you, they're asking if you have questions, they want you to gain information from this. So that's a big important thing in my book.
Adam, same question for you. What do you believe makes a good teacher?
I want to use my world history teacher from my junior year as a reference. I
Okay.
think he is one of the best teachers I think I've had in any like classroom. From the first day I had his class, I instantly knew I was gonna appreciate him so much as a teacher. He was very engaging with the class. Always encouraged students to come on class on time, and he showed like genuine passion for the subject. And it was just so shocking to me because I'm used to being in a school environment where it's like the teachers don't care. It's just like do the work and it's done. But he actually cared about us learning and reinforced. Even if someone asked one of the most simplest questions, instead of dumbing down what the person asked, he would try to explain how they needed to understand. And you could also come to him about life things like your problems. You could ask him other things like finance, and he'll help with that. And I just feel like to be a great teacher, you need to be a leader. And to be that, you need to be versatile and understand how to work with different types of people. And he did just that. There was all this different types of people in our classroom. There was even people who couldn't speak English, but he still found a way to make them educated and still found a way to work around that problem, that language barrier.
Hmm. I'm coming close to the end of the program, but I still have several questions. So let me ask this. Zion, if you could change one thing at your school to make it better, what would it be?
Oh,
Oh.
honestly, I wouldn't change anything. Only thing I would probably change is I would probably change our uniforms. That's probably the only
Okay.
thing I would change. Like
Hey.
on because we have half a days every Friday. So I would like to not come to school in my uniform on a Friday because it's a half a day. I would like to be in comfortable clothes, comfortable shoes, take my assessment, and then chill for the remainder of the day.
Okay.
That's probably one thing I would change.
All right. Rihanna, what would you change to one thing?
If I could change one thing, I would make it more known that students are able to share their opinion on something or use their voice or speak out for something.
But
I feel like even though we have a lot of um, opportunities for students to share their opinion, they don't really use it or they don't really know about it. So I would make it more advertised.
Okay. Nina, what would you change?
I would say showing more respect to all athletics that are offered at my school. They always talk about the varsity football and basketball and volleyball teams, but they never mention Special Olympic sports. My twin brother is a part of the Special Olympics, and he tries just as hard as anyone else. And I wish my school would recognize their achievements. Last year, they made it to states and counties, and they didn't do much recognition for them compared to the other varsity sports. So that's the one thing I wish they would change, and then what I'm fighting for this year.
Okay. Malia?
I would change the fact that I feel like there's not enough passionate staff at my school. If I walk in, I don't want to, first thing in the morning, I don't want to get yelled at first thing in the morning. So I want to walk in and feel like I'm welcomed by people who don't hate their jobs.
Okay. Adam?
Uh, one big, I want to say two big things. Professionalism and respect is the two big changes I want inside of my school. I want it to be prevalent. I want, if my mom goes to the office, for her to be addressed properly, for her to not have to sit there for hours and like have to catch someone with a mean attitude. And I also want the teachers to show respect to the students and also showcase that professionalism as well, where they're not calling students out of their name, addressing them the wrong way, screaming at them, showing that they're teachers and not just people who have an attitude. Because I don't like seeing teachers that act the same as the students, the same age as me. I want to see an adult in the classroom, not a teenager.
Interesting. Okay. So now we're here for the lightning round of this conversation. This is one word answers, Zion and and Rihanna. One word answers. Okay. So here we go. What one word describes how you feel about the new school year? Zion, one word.
Excited.
Rihanna.
Sad.
Malia.
Done.
Nina.
Happy.
Adam.
Very excited.
See, I said one word.
Oh,
See?
excited. Excited.
You see, ladies, it's always the brothers who mess it up. So, what grade would you give yourself, Adam, as a student?
I give myself like a B. Because I can
Zion.
be inconsistent.
A+.
Again, one word, Adam. Zion.
A.
Rihanna.
B.
Nina.
A.
Malia.
B.
Okay. Harder to live without, your cell phone or your favorite snack at lunch? Malia.
My cell phone.
Nina.
Cell phone.
Rihanna.
Favorite snack.
Oh, how about that? Zion.
Favorite snack.
What's your favorite snack, Rihanna?
I really like the Pocky Sticks, and I like apples.
Okay. Zion, your favorite snack?
My favorite snack is also Pocky Sticks.
I need to find out what that is. Adam.
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Okay. Final question, because I'm assuming everybody's college bound. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you want to go, Adam? One place.
George Mason University.
Zion.
Oh, take the fun out of it. That's a
I
surprise.
know.
But I want to go to Bowie State University.
Okay. Malia.
Florida A&M.
Okay. Nina. Nina, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry. University of Maryland, College Park.
Rihanna.
Duke University.
Okay, nobody mentioned Morgan or Howard, but that's okay.
They're on my list. They're on my
They're
list.
on the list, but they're
Yeah.
not top, you know.
Same. They're on my list, but I thought.
Yeah, they're on my list, but not my top.
Well, we'll keep them on your list. And yeah, and I used to live in Tallahassee, so FAMU is also a great school. So listen, I want to thank all of you for sitting and spending some really important time to have this, this conversation. I love your intellectual muscularity. And I think that you all are worthy of A+ as not just students, but as human beings. And I think your parents have done a wonderful, wonderful job. And please continue to be selfless, study hard, stay safe. And I'm sure that we will see you all again in the future. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
That is the Daily Drum for this Tuesday. Whoops, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Wednesday,
Yes, sir.
August 20th. I'm Harold Fisher. Good night.